All right, good afternoon, folks. I would like to call to order the December 18th meeting of the Fairfield Traffic Authority. And I would like to recognize Deputy Chief Barry from the Fairfield Fire Department to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. All right. Mr. Randolph, can you hear us?
I can, yes.
Good. All right, so you are, Mega and Prue will take the attendance, but my head count has you stepping in for Anthony, who we know is out. Okay, sir?
I'm on the line.
Anthony's on the line.
Oh, Anthony is on the
Yeah,
line.
that's what I thought it might have been him.
Oh, okay. I thought you were out based on the email.
I can only stick around for 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So
He's for the voting item, until the voting item. And
Okay. All right, so I will take that back temporarily. Okay. Thank you. Welcome, Anthony.
thank you.
All right, so Prue and Mega, if you guys, and Prue and Emmeline, if you can make sure we have proper attendance for who's here, who's here live, who's here online, who is here as an alternate, soon to be a voting member when we get to that point, okay? All right, so our first order of business, according to the town clerk and the first selectman's office, is for us to elect the officers, the chairman, the vice chairman, and the secretary for the calendar year 2026. So I would open up the floor for any nominations for the chairman of the board, if anyone has a nomination.
I nominate Kevin Kiley to chair the Fairfield Traffic Authority.
Thank you. Is there a second to that? Second, Lieutenant? Okay. Are there any other nominations for chairman for the board for next year? Hearing none, I'll close nominations, and yes, sir.
Can I just ask a question?
You can.
Okay. Are you okay with that?
Oh, I'm totally good with that.
Okay, I didn't know.
I'm delighted to do it. I'm happy to do it.
We want to make sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean to look hesitant.
No, in honesty, if you were or unsure, then I would ask to then delay the vote until we come up with something. But I don't have any problem with the table.
No, I'm totally,
No, I'm a wonderful chair we have.
totally
so-
cool and totally prepared to do it.
All right.
Thank you
I'm
very
very
much.
good chair,
Yep.
so.
Okay, with that said, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Abstentions? Thank you. All right, so congratulations to me. I wasn't being hesitant. All right, so the floor is now open for nominations for the vice chairman of the commission for the calendar year 2026, if there are any nominations.
No, I won't. We're the list.
I just want to make sure. I'll nominate Mega Jane as
Okay,
vice chair.
okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for vice chair for the calendar year 2026? Okay, hearing none, I'll close nominations and go to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That carries. Congratulations, Mega. Thank you for the hard work. You
Thank you
are
for being a
you are the
good-
brains behind the operation.
Good team here, so I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. As we get our sea legs, and we'll talk a bit more about that shortly here. And now we have to elect a secretary for the board for 2026. Do we have any nominations for secretary of the board for next year?
I nominate Emmeline.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is there a second?
You good with that?
Okay.
I'll second it then.
Mr. Hurley seconded. Do we have any other nominations to be the secretary for next year? Seeing none, I'll close nominations and go to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That carries. Congratulations, ma'am. I really do appreciate that. Appreciate the support, appreciate the confidence, and all the hard work that all you folks put in. So we missed one thing on the agenda. If it's going to be okay to add it. Yes, ma'am.
So I'll make a motion to add the 2026 meeting calendar to the agenda. We just need a 2/3 vote in order to do that.
We do. There's a motion on the floor. I will second that motion There's a motion that requires a 2/3 vote to add something to the agenda. We only do this when it's something that's appropriate. We don't like to add things to agendas. It's just not good practice, but in this case, it's something pretty easy and simple. Jeff and Anthony, we do have a document in front of us. My apologies for it not being in front of you. We've gone through the calendar pretty extensively, sticking with the third Thursday of each month, starting on January 15th all the way through December 17th. If you guys want to hold this over, we could. We did not find any conflict with federal holidays, religious holidays of any background, right?
Yes.
So I believe we're good. We could modify if need be down the road, but it looks like we have a clear calendar of the third Thursday for all 12 months, which is unusual without something getting in the way. So that's what's in front of us, gentlemen. Again, my apologies. We can change it if we need to, but we're scheduled for 4 p.m. on the third Thursday of each month. So that's before us for consideration.
Then I would just get a second and then do the vote to add it.
I seconded it. Oh, yep. We need to vote to add this to the agenda. Thank you.
Correct, yeah.
So what's in front of us is to put it on the agenda. If I may take a vote on that. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition to that? Okay. Abstentions? All right, so it is in front of us for consideration. Thanks, Emmeline. Keep me in line. And it's in front of us. Yes, ma'am.
I'll make a motion to adopt the proposed 2026 meeting calendar.
Bro, you're the best. Who's better than you? I'll second that. So it's in front of us for a vote. Again, if we have to change it, we can. Otherwise, it looks pretty clean and consistent.
Yeah.
Hearing no discussion from the public. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Our calendar is adopted, and we will share that with the town clerk and the first select person's office. It's going to take me a long time to stop saying that. I'm sorry. I've been saying it for 30-something years. So my apologies for that, but we'll share it with the office as soon as we possibly can. Okay. Item number 4 is the adoption of the minutes from last month. We're not quite ready for prime time on those, so I made the request to hold them over until next month. We're still kind of revising them. There was a lot of activity. There were a lot of amendments, and we wanted to make sure that we got them all right. So with the pleasure of this board, I just wanted to put something on the agenda here to let everyone know that they're in process. We're cleaning them up. I have to do a couple things, and we'll get them before you along with these minutes in January. So thank you for your patience on that. Item 4 is to hear, consider, and act upon new signs and markings for streets. But before we go to that, I want to pause for just 1 second. And we have a guest not on the agenda, but I wanted to take a couple moments and recognize Detective Chief Barry from the Fairfield Fire Department. He just wanted to share a couple words with us about, big picture process as we have shifted from police commission doing this work to the traffic authority doing this work, and just kind of make sure that we're all marching to the same tune and that we're all in line with one another. So thank you for being here, and welcome.
Thank you, appreciate it. Just when we're doing some of the programs around town, the traffic calming and stuff, we worked with Megan on this before. We're still running into some issues with some of the stuff that's done where we had a very serious accident the other night and we were pinned in and couldn't get out and had to drive over some of the stuff that's been put in. We have to take that into account when we're building these things or putting these things in. Our apparatus are 70+ thousand pounds. They're 45 feet long. They're 11 and a half feet tall. But our equipment is on those trucks. They have to get to the scene. And in a perfect world, things work and flow and great. We're never going to a perfect world. We're always going to something that's compromised, which I'm sure, and I've gotten, since that, someone wrote a letter to me and there were several after, oh yeah, that happened to me on this state, happened to me on this state. So we have to, I hope I can have at least some guidance or some input on when you're doing some of this stuff that we can try to make it so that it's maneuver. And we'll bring the trucks there, we'll put them up. We've done that, but those are perfect world situations. We have to think when it's not the perfect world and the traffic is not flowing correctly. So hopefully my experience can and I'm sure yours as well, Jared. You understand what I'm talking about.
100%. What sounds good on paper doesn't necessarily
Right.
transition
Right.
out there in the real world.
Right, so that's a good piece of advice for all of us. And we went through this for many years on police commission and fire department, communicating back and forth. You know, something that looked great was only really good, and something that looked okay or good might not have been the right thing to do. So, you know, as we continue down this road and continue getting our sea legs here as an organization or as a body, you know, learning our processes and communicating with all the town bodies and departments, that's a good reminder for us to make sure that we always do that. And that much like the police commission had to learn over the years, it does take time to get things, you know, completely lined up and organized. And, you know, thank you for reminding us.
And even then, it doesn't always go as perfect as
Well,
planned.
yes, but you can only try your best.
Absolutely.
And so we have confidence in you, and you should have confidence in us that we are going to continue to expand that process and make sure that we do those things. And, you know.
And the safety of the residents of the town is really what we're always looking to do. And you know, that's the bottom line, is their safety.
Yeah.
How do we do that effectively? So.
Absolutely. No, so thank you for coming out, and thank you for reminding us. If there's anything else, you have the floor.
No, that's it. That's the only thing I really wanted to discuss was, you know, some of the stuff that we've done. We're seeing problems that we thought we might have. We're actually seeing them, so we have to think about that. So I just want to be a help along the way of when we looking at doing something. Is there a different way or a better way? And I think we've done that with some of the other projects that were upcoming. We changed what we were talking about,
Yeah.
and I think to have something that was better for overall.
Sure. I appreciate that.
Just the only thing I would say is if there is an item that we know is going to impact the fire department, you'd be invited to come and speak officially so we have it on record.
Right.
Because again, we've always involved the fire department, but it might not be the correct people.
Correct.
It might have been, you know, just a fire truck and
Yeah.
doing, because we usually
Right.
do the demonstrations and we
Yeah.
wouldn't put anything
Sure.
in without checking, but it may not have gone through the proper chain of command or whatever.
And I would offer you a ride in the truck so you understand what it feels like. You know, limited visibility, size, maneuverability, and what we're actually trying to get to. And we're not just seeing it in roadways. We're seeing in buildings that are going up now. Even the parking lots are getting tighter for us, which is making us have to do something different as well. And I'm sure you guys are seeing.
And then
both.
in the future, I mean, because we do have some demonstration projects coming up with raised crosswalks. I
We'll be there
know
with-
the speed humps are always on, so that's going to be very important, your input on whether we do
Absolutely.
those or not.
Yeah.
So I want to comment on this because of few projects which were done, and now is a new era when the FTA has formed, and obviously the new people. Before we did go for the approval process. There was an approval process, but now this process, the new process, will be adding few more departments, which is a new process. So we have started doing that, and even the project that was done, we did go back to your department, and we did what was advised to us when it was completely fairly new, and before moving further. We had taken taken fire department involvement in it. So from there onwards, the process is now new because the FTA team is new, and it's kind of a new process as comparatively to before. So all the demonstration projects your department has reviewed it last time, and when we will be installing, we have incorporated, even though I did not get any written comments, I did send all the PowerPoint slides. So it's there.
Yeah, and it's something
But
that you
we'll-
see after. You're like, oh,
Yes.
nobody saw that. Even me didn't see it. That was going to be as severe as it was. But it is an issue. We have to think about on the projects going forward, how to make them to work for everybody, obviously.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, well, welcome, or thank you for being here. You're always welcome. And we will find a way to make sure that you are included on agendas, information, items, and projects that, you know, need input for sure. Right. Okay, thank you. that gives me one more opportunity to put a plug in for, I think what we need. It's my personal recommendation that this body needs a support staff person inside the administration. And I've had some internal conversations about it. And we can talk more about that in detail as we approach the budget season here. But I think with something so new and so important as our commission and the amount of work and the amount of information that we're seeing and hearing and receiving that we need to be responsive to and reactive to and the work that we have to do here, I think an internal resource is going to go a long way towards solving and helping us with any of these issues. So, thank you. Okay. You're welcome to stay. You're welcome to
You have anything
keep
on
us
there
safe.
Anything on there that would affect us today?
I don't think we have anything that's going to limit the roadways, basically signs and markings.
Yeah, I actually, I may have a question for the Gold Manor Park, even the accessibility for emergency vehicles, where the code is. But that
Pickleball
item
and
is the
tennis courts?
pickleball code. That is actually at the item.
Crestwood.
Yeah, I'm thinking of, that's a dirt road, isn't
I
it?
was just talking about Crestwood where the pickleball courts are.
Crestwood.
There's a proposal for no parking on one side of the road because right now they park on both sides.
No parking's better.
And the question is, I think the question is going to be, can fire emergency vehicles, fire apparatus get through with cars on both sides? I think is what.
It's on the agenda, and I went on site today, and I observed a lot of interesting
So-
items. So one of them will be coming to one question will be.
Yeah,
on
that's
as
the
well.
perfect example where you have cars on both sides. It now
Yes.
limits you down to 12 feet or so, or
It's actually
whatever.
7 feet because the road is
7
at
feet?
Crestfoot is around 28 feet, so 14 feet on both sides.
Trucks are 8 feet wide, so.
Yes, so technically if you allow,
4 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that item, I don't know if I can discuss now, Kevin, or should I wait? What do you suggest?
What we could do if,
Motion to take it out of order?
yeah, let's do that. Let's just move ahead to item 6E if we want to go to that one. Why don't we jump ahead to item 6B?
I'll make a motion to reorder the agenda.
6E.
6E is in
E.
Edward.
6E.
Echo.
E is an echo. Correct. Yes.
I'll second the motion.
All right, all those in favor of moving ahead with this?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, so let's get to that item. That's,
See.
yep, that's the no parking sign request at Crestwood.
Yeah.
Okay?
I-
Mega, why don't you walk us through it quickly, and then
Yes.
we'll go from there.
So we have heard this request a couple of times from a Gold Manor Park Residents Association that they want no parking sign both sides at Crestwood where there is a tennis court. So as per my site visits, I observed 2-3 things over there. First, I went to the Crestwood and I observed that there is a no parking sign on the opposite side, moving at the direction of southbound on the opposite side.
Kind of like the west side, I guess.
West side, west side. So there's one side which has no parking, but the other side has no parking. So the resident has requested us that there should be a no parking on both sides of the roadway because the roadway because there's a lot of parking on both sides of that roadway that makes it more narrow. That's her request in that backup. So I went there. First of all, the dimension of a road is 26 feet, curb to curb. You want me to put the zoom, guys?
Yeah, that's fine, go ahead. And this is a discussion item, folks. This is under item 6.
Yes.
We aren't voting on this tonight. What we do, Pat, is we have, usually a handful of items that we're voting on that we've talked about that are maybe simpler than some of the other items. And then we take a number of other items that are things that we want everyone here to know about, think about, go drive by between now and when it comes back on an upcoming agenda. And we have those under discussion. And this is one of those. So while we're not voting on this is a good time to take a quick look at it, to understand what it is, encourage everyone to take a drive-by, see it, all that good stuff. Yes, ma'am.
Chair Kylie, it looks like Mr. Calabrese has dropped off, so Mr. Randolph would
All right,
be.
Mr. Randolph, welcome.
I'm still here.
I know.
Side, I think there's no issue. As long as there's no parking on one side, I don't think there's an issue. I don't think we need no parking on both sides. Because as long as that side's no parking, there's room. I mean, obviously, you're going to see the emergency lights coming.
You'll have to cross the yellow line.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
At least 20 feet or so, right?
Yeah.
But, you
Lane and a
know,
half.
for
There's
us,
already no parking on the one side, right?
yeah, west side has no
Let's
parking.
go down your agenda.
Yeah, 80 to 90% of the time, we would be coming from, it's not actually a road we use a lot, weirdly enough. We either go down or above. It's not a normal.
I think with the west side or with southbound, no parking, I think it's plenty wide.
It would make, yeah,
Parking on one side of the road.
enough to squeeze
Plus,
by.
nobody has to cross the street because everybody's parking on the side of the courts.
Can I ask though, so when I looked at the aerial for the site, it seems to me that the yellow line is in the center of the roadway, so I would suggest that maybe we need to add a fog line where the parking would be permitted, and then we would have to move the center yellow in the middle of the travel, the two-way travel path. Because right now it's in the middle of the pavement area.
Yeah, that's similar by the school.
Yeah, by Melville.
Yeah, we're, unfortunately, the line, when they have the line company come out, sometimes it's 2 a.m, nobody's around. And if they don't know to shift the line over, they go right down the middle.
Yeah.
And that's a case where we might be able to push it over a foot or two, still provide enough for going southbound, while northbound having enough parking. I did send an email to Anthony just to see if he had any comment, but I think he.
I think he's
dropped off.
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, I think,
So right now, the parking is on which side?
So parking
West.
is on this side where you
East
see
side.
these cars
The
here.
east side, okay.
Where the sidewalk is.
Yeah, so there is, this parking is allowed, but on this side, there is no parking signs. If you go further down, there are signs for no parking, I don't know if you can see. But this side doesn't have a parking, but this side is all open to the parking. So resident has requested to have a no parking for both the side instead of just one side. So, God, this is not moving. It's not moving. Okay, so yeah, this side has no parking. This side has 2 no parking signs, but this side is all open to parking.
Okay.
So that's how it is. It's right now the layout is. There is a sidewalk you can see. There's a sidewalk here all along going from the other side. So there are 2 things that I noticed just at Crestwood is that it is 26 feet wide, first of all. And my question is, when I was observing, is that if we allow, let's say, no parking on both sides, first of all, it will leave very small room, less than 10 feet minimum requirement for a lane. So people are crossing over this yellow line every time. Oh, if you provide parking, sorry, I'm confusing myself. So, yes, sorry. So right now it's a parking and it's no parking, so it's kind of working. It's okay for the dimension wise. So that's one concern. So another is at the other side of a roadway where that park is, in front of park, there is enough parking space. Like if I keep going further down.
I don't think they're gonna park there for pickleball. They'll
No.
Yes.
they'll park on all the side streets.
Yeah, that's.
I think my 2 concerns with removing more parking are, one is removing parking next to a park where people are going
So
to use
this
it.
one,
Yeah.
this has 35 feet. This has enough room for parking. There are 5 parking spaces. This whole space is dedicated for parking.
It is, yeah, that's right.
So you have a parking here, but people are still parking on front of tennis court. So that's one thing.
Yeah,
Why-
understood.
Because
Yes.
they're going to exercise, they don't want to walk far.
My other concern is when you remove on-street parking too, though, usually the vehicles tend to.
Park on Quaid, yep.
That's true too.
I mean,
You know, so you're
Yeah.
26 feet wide, and even if you take 7 out for the
I don't know
parking,
if
is
you can
7 the right
straight-
number to take out for a parking? Or
Usually at 8.
Between 7 and 8.
All right, so let's call it 8. That leaves you
6 feet or
18 feet.
18. And 18 is reasonable to have both a car going one way and a fire truck going the other.
oh, which one? The Crestwood is 26 feet wide.
Yeah, but then they're
Minus the
subtracting
eight.
8 feet for the
Minus
parking.
8 for the parking.
It's curb to curb, so yeah, one lane is left. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're going.
So there's 18 feet
Yes,
left
yes,
is what
if
I'm
you
trying
leave
to
for
say.
no parking.
Right.
For an emergency vehicle.
Even if it was 17 feet, that's still a 7 for a car and a 10 for a truck.
Yeah, it's most important just to allow someone a room to move so that we can go around.
Yeah.
Usually with the sirens, they should pull off to the side.
Should.
I said should.
So that sounds like enough room that you guys wouldn't be in here saying, I need no parking on both sides so we can get through. I'm without,
And like I said, that's not a heavily used road for us. It's probably more so for you guys. But, our station being at Jennings coming down, we could either go above or below you.
okay. All right,
Moving forward, Patrick, do you have a list of your major fire routes? Because that, I think, would play in. Oh, it's in your head. Well, if you ever compose a list, we keep that in mind. I mean, obviously the roads that the firehouses are on, but after
Yeah.
that, if you have a list, if not.
No, there's no set list,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
like, depending on where you're going, when you come out of a different station is typically how you go. So,
right.
coming out of Jennings Road and heading west, you're either gonna go down Holland Hill or you're gonna go down Jennings and come across at the
Right.
other side.
Right.
You kind of work around it, unless we're going to Parkwood or Crestwood,
Right.
which is, one or,
My comments on this are very similar, I think, to Frank's there, where parking sometimes is a little bit of a pseudo form of traffic calming. Where there is no parking, like you even look at the straightaway here, you have a tendency to go, and then if there's parked cars, most people, again, you get some outliers, they tend to go a little bit slower. They would, and certainly the fire truck, though, would have to cross the yellow line, and that's to Emmeline's point of maybe you have to shift the line over if the parking does remain. The other would be, you have all that reserved parking. If there are like Little League games going on,
That's where you see a lot of
then they're going to have to use that area.
Yeah.
If there aren't, then they should be using the safer area and walking for exercise
yes,
anyway.
that's right.
But there's no MUTCD sign that says, overflow parking or whatever. So those were my comments. And then the fear of if we do post it, no parking, then there's a possibility that they'll park wherever we don't have them, they'll just move.
So I when I went in the field today, there was a corner Quaker Lane resident who came down to me and said that they're okay with no parking, but one of the residents is asking for no parking because it does create a lot of congestion during peak seasons. But her concern was that it will create an overflow on the adjacent streets, meaning people will start parking and they're using Quaker Lane as their own parking spots. So she's just a little bit concerned about that. If you allow no parking on both sides, it will start congesting.
Yeah, they're gonna
And
park
the
over
adjacent
there.
streets.
That-
So just to hear them a little bit, can we just have one no parking, like leave it as it is? And it's only the peak seasons that are busy and just leave it as it is, because then it will start disturbing other residential areas and they will start asking, they will come back and say, we are disturbed, we don't have parking. And one person is, I think, is not able to walk, or there's a problem there too. So that's where I was saying, leave it as it is right now, one side parking, no parking, which is a very narrow street as comparatively to this. So that's what my observation and what I have collected so far from one of the residents is, if you just leave it as it is, and we have enough parking on the other side of this roadway, where we have 5 parking spaces, we have parking spaces all the way down till the park, and then we have enough parking on this. So I think, why just put another no parking on Crestwood and just leave it as it is right now we are in, so that it doesn't create any more problems. That's what my suggestion, my thought process is.
Excellent. Okay, so that was our discussion on item 6E. Why don't we jump back to item 5, which is 5A is our first item to consider for action tonight. That is the crosswalk request at Mill Hill Lane at Mill Hill Road. We discussed this one at pretty good length last meeting. We had a lot of input from neighbors, and from, there was a local representative who was here as well. And I did speak to him on the way in this morning, or this afternoon, and I let him know that we were talking about putting a crosswalk in, not some of those other things that he had scheduled out on that document that he had handed out to us. So that what in front of us is to consider this crosswalk. So Megha, do you want to walk us through the crosswalk and where we landed on that and where the crosswalk landed in relation to where it was first discussed?
Yes, sure. I can go. So what happened, the resident has requested a crosswalk, and I should actually pull out the building tax location. Here,
And we had a good discussion on this last week, and I think we came away with the general feeling was that the crosswalk seemed like it could be a good idea, but it seemed like the location that it was originally proposed for might need to be moved for safety purposes so that people didn't have a false sense of security by being in a crosswalk, which sometimes happens because cars don't always honor it. And it was pretty close to a curve that cars wouldn't have enough visibility to get to see the upcoming crosswalk and children, crossing to get to school. That was the gist of what we came away with.
So this is Mill Hill from last time, carried over to this meeting. The resident is proposing a crosswalk here because of the school at nearby location. So the school kids, and there is a sidewalk, but therefore they're having a problem crossing the street. That was their concern. So we did visit it field to field. Well, we don't think this is the right location.
Spot for it, right.
Spot because of sightline distances. There's no sidewalk on the other side. It's on the grading is a little bit higher there. So this location is not a very good fit because there's a curve over here. You see this curve coming, so it creates like a sightline issue. So we did go out in the field and find out the location in front of 321 actually. House.
That was your other photo.
Right?
It's like a red mailbox in it.
Yes, so let me pull the other one because there are a couple of photographs that we have posted. So let me stop sharing this.
The other problem with that was to meet ADA, because even if you have a crosswalk, you should at least have the landing. There's no sidewalk to at least get them off the road. And that was, you saw in the photo, it's too steep.
Right.
But as Megha said, we had gone out in the field and
Yeah, let
we
me
have a
pull
better location, is how I would put it.
Sorry, it's going through. There's so many photographs here. She did one by one. Sorry, guys. This one is the location, so let me share. I think Bill is stunning.
Suspicious characters in this photo.
So this is a location that we think could be the right spot for a crosswalk, which is completely away from that location. It's at around, it's at 321 house, right, Bill? But now, we also calculated the side distance. The side distance is a little bit not very good at this location either.
Yeah, it improves from the other location, but we're right literally on the cusp. And so to correctly, I think we're going to have to run a speed to see, because perhaps the cars aren't going the speed limit, maybe a little less around the curve.
Yeah, this is a
From the
curve.
Poach Road, right?
Well, both sides, you'd have to, yeah.
Yeah, both sides. So this is a curve. That's where the sight line gets really very.
That's where it's a little bit tough, yeah. So we would have the crosswalk, the better location would be, that other one, the request was at the north side. We would go to the south side of the intersection, where you pick up, say, another 30 feet of sight distance by being further away from this curve There is another curve
To the south.
to the south, but
Yeah.
that one, I think he
It's
said it was
further
about
away.
400 or 500 feet, so we're good
Okay.
that direction.
Okay.
So
So on
moving
on the
it
north side of the intersection, you're too close sight distance wise to the
to
curve.
that
to the
curve,
north.
yep.
But on the south side, you have more distance to the
Right,
curve.
so the further south we go,
And you get
the
further away
better,
from that
the
one.
better sight distance, right.
Hey, Bill, from a curve of that angle, is there a specified number of feet? Is there a regulation on how many feet of crosswalk has to be away, or is it just, engineering's opinion on what it should be? Is there a
Well,
hard number?
It's based on speed.
Speed limit.
So traveling speed, so if it's 20 miles per hour, we might only need 200 feet, and then therefore this would meet it.
This would be okay,
If it's 35, I'll exaggerate a little bit, you need 400 feet,
Okay.
we don't have it. So that's
Right.
why
Okay.
I think to cover ourselves, we probably have to, we didn't want to have to do it, but I think we
So
have
it's
to.
more to do with the speed than the curve, than the angle.
Well, it's both related, yeah. Because on the curb, if it was just like, there was bushes or something like that, we could clear that in the right of way, and that would be a way of improving the sight distance. But if there's a vertical or a horizontal curve, those are a lot harder to get rid of, you know.
And posted speed limit is
25.
25.
25.
Yeah.
Do you think people are going as fast as 40?
Now, from what the people were saying in the meeting there, they tend to say that people are going fast, but we're at that location, we're not sure. It might be more closer to the school or closer to 95 with speeding.
So do you propose putting are you gonna
I think we have to
take
do
the
a
speed
black
at that
bag.
location?
Yeah,
right
at that
there?
location
Yes.
of, that way we have it.
I think that makes sense.
Okay.
It's the stopping sight distance, which is a factor of the
Okay.
speed. So it's how much someone has time to react and step on the brakes and stop a vehicle going.
Okay.
But it's-
Stopping sight distance, I think we'll make it, but we just have to double check. And then there's also safe sight distance, intersection.
Right,
sight
right.
And all that, so.
It sounds like we're not quite ready on this one, so.
No.
That's what I'm hearing.
I think we have to
Unfortunately.
change.
Table
Yeah.
for future consideration?
Yes, we need further investigation.
That's fine.
Yep.
I was thinking we were closer to a decision on this one, but if we're not, let's do the right thing and take the time to do it. So what do we need to do? Let's get clarity on what we're going to do. We don't necessarily have to put a date on it, but let's put a plan in place.
It would be to record the speed at the location.
At the location.
At the location of the crosswalk.
Okay.
To accurately estimate or actually determine the proper sight distance required. So it would be to record to create a speed record or record the speed at the crosswalk location, at the proposed crosswalk location.
Okay.
And then determine the proper sight distance.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That would be what we'd have. I think we all agree that it's a reasonable request, and we want to have it work, but we have to make sure it's safe to cross. Yep.
Okay. But is it reasonable to assume, at least with the eyeball test that we've talked about a couple times, that where it was originally proposed looks a little unlikely to be the outcome?
That one it does not.
It does
meet
not
the
work
site,
at
so
all.
that one can't work. So that, if we were going to just
You
strictly.
looked at even like the low speed for that one and it didn't.
Yeah.
look
Okay,
right.
okay. All right, so that's
Under
where we are
200.
with 5A. Are there any comments from the public on 5A?
Hi, can you hear me? This is Eliza Chang. I'm a resident.
Hi, Eliza. Yes, we can.
Hi,
Welcome.
thank you all so much for all the work that's gone into this. We really appreciate it. I just had one question. In terms of the speed limit, I know you said it was 25. Is there any possibility, given that it's a school zone, of bringing that down to further help with the sight lines that you're talking about? I'm just curious. I mean, I walk my kids to school every day. People are driving really, really fast. They're racing to get their kids. And so I'm wondering, I don't know if it's a possibility, but I just wanted to ask for your consideration, given that it's a school zone.
Thank you.
I believe that they already have the proposal in the state level to make it 20 mile an hour for the 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon, similar to other school zones in town.
Okay.
But I believe it's at the state level waiting for their approval.
Okay, got it. Okay, so basically, my understanding is that you guys just need to, it's a possibility, but you just need to determine the exact placement given the sight lines with the two curves. Is that kind of the
correct.
way?
That's
Okay,
correct.
great. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
You are very welcome. Thanks for being here.
Yep.
Anything else?
Need her name and address, please.
Eliza, could you please give us your name and address?
Yes,
Street?
my name's Eliza Chang, and my address is 107 Mill Hill Lane.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll hold 5A over, and we'll go to 5B, which is, anything else on that? Did I miss anyone?
Did we vote on that?
On it.
Do we have to vote to hold it, or?
Want to vote on
Motion
the
to table?
decision, or?
Well, there was a motion to do that, so I
There's a motion to do this, so why don't we, thank
So we
you.
just need a second
I'll
and then.
second the
Second that.
motion to table this
Okay,
further study.
so there's a motion to table
Yeah,
it.
just to be clear for all the people that have to write the work orders or our
Right.
secretary here, is let's just make sure we're clear on the.
Yeah, it's not being postponed to a date certain, we're just tabling it for
Yeah,
future
for
consideration.
additional, I'll read it. Motion to table for additional analysis, including recording speed at proposed crosswalk location and in order to determine proper location.
Proper site distance.
Proper
Site distance.
site distance. Okay, got it.
I will second that. Is there any discussion on that? Okay,
Okay, so what did Jeremy second?
I seconded the motion.
Want to read it again
Want to
one
read it
more
again?
time?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's okay.
So we get,
No,
get
listen,
the official motion, I guess.
that's fine.
Motion to table for additional analysis in order to record speed at the proposed crosswalk location and determine site distance, proper site distance.
Okay. Prue, is that better?
I can get it, I'll get it from the recording.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so that motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion on that? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? None. That motion carries. Okay, so we can go to 5B, which is the stop sign at Samp Mortar Drive at Brookside Drive. So we talked about this last month. And Mega, if you want to give us a quick update, I hope everyone had a chance to take a look at it
Yes,
from
that's it.
last month. And if you want to give us a brief update on where we are with this one.
So I would like to know who visited the site. That's very, very important because this is a little tricky part. Emmeline, did you go?
I didn't go, I just checked the aerial photography in multiple different directions.
Yeah.
Jeff didn't go. So this is-
Yes, I know that site.
So anybody would like to share their observations? What do you think before we start diving into technicals? So Jeff, do you want to share your observation with us? Jeff?
You're muted,
I'm
Jeff.
sorry, just unmuted. Yeah, it's a low volume intersection. It's awkward because you come up the hill and there's both on Sent Mortar is a very hilly road in both directions, so it's an awkward intersection. And I think a stop sign probably, I don't know if it would stop people. You know, people would probably do rolling stops through there as it is, so I'm not sure if a stop sign would be heated.
Emmeline, do you want to share your observations? Let's share everybody's experiences of that road. Anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a stop sign is going to be really warranted there, to be honest with you. We don't have any crash history there, at least in the last 3 years. It does have the incline, so if you're making people stop there, you know, you may have issues in inclement weather. And I think the bigger issue are the 2 or 3 large trees on the right. So even if you put a stop sign there, you're still going to have the trees there, and people are still going to creep up into the intersection. So I don't think, I mean, obviously stop signs are there to determine right of way. I think it's a pretty clear determination of who has the right of way at that intersection. So I don't think adding a stop sign is going to make a difference,
Thank
in
you.
my opinion.
Engineering?
My observation was, if you're on, you gotta be careful with the way, there's like 4 intersections.
Yeah, you gotta get
I
to
know
the right
which
one, yeah.
Yeah, but on Samp Mortar, and you're at the T intersection, so you're on what they call the minor road. There's no stop sign there, ironically, but by law, because it's a T intersection, you have to stop. And then, yeah, when you look to the right, you have those trees. And certainly, we could look at maybe cutting one of them down perhaps, rather than all of them, but maybe if one's in bad shape or something like that, to maybe help improve the sight distance in that direction. When you look to the left, it's like an S curve, and there is a little dip. So there is a little bit of a sight distance concern. But my concern with that is exactly what Jeremy had said, was that, you're coming down, it's sloped, inclement weather, or just somebody slightly not paying attention, and all of a sudden a stop comes to them that they could blow, unfortunately, blow by or roll a little bit past the intersection. And there's a little bit of a safety issue there. So we might be solving one problem, creating another, unfortunately. I think there might be other ways to improve. As I said, putting the stop sign on sand mortar on the minor road, and maybe having an intersection ahead sign further up, at least to let people know. I do know when you come from that direction, you do see the green sign that says the name of the street, so there's an intersection there. But we could try to the best we can improve sight distance. But that's my fear, is that we solve one problem, but we might be creating another, and that's what I felt as well.
So that's that false sense of security by the stop sign being there for the folks that don't abide by it. Is that what you're saying?
Unfortunately, that would be the case.
Is there an MUTC compliant sign that's opposing traffic does not stop? Is that an existing sign? Like, is that a real sign, opposing traffic doesn't stop?
Usually you put them in when it's an oddball, like all the approaches don't have a stop sign, and one doesn't, and so. Well, we could look into that, but I think, unfortunately, there's not much the stop sign wouldn't solve the problem, and it would probably create another problem.
Think so? Okay.
Yeah.
Megan, did you have?
Same observation.
Same observation.
Engineering and safety and MATCD compliance, and also being consistent with the 4 stop signs that we have discussed in this meeting. So the same reasons.
Is there any chance that some type of intersection ahead sign could be helpful, or is that not appropriate as you approach the intersection?
It's a very low volume roadway, and having trees on side, it's very, very natural to stop there and, so. But it doesn't harm, we can install it. It doesn't harm, it's a sign, it's a warning sign, so it won't harm to install it.
Well, I'm not looking to put signs up just for the sake of putting signs up, because we have plenty of signs in town, right? Yeah. I was just thinking out loud when I heard somebody else mention it.
I'm just curious, with the no crash history, I think it's.
That also plays into it.
We had significant history there, I think it needs something to be done, but without the history there to support it.
Okay. Anything from your side on this one?
I agree with engineering, PD, yeah.
Okay.
That's a good point. We try to make decisions also based on the data, and that
if there's stuff to support.
Sure, that makes perfect
Right,
sense.
if we had a ton of crashes there, that would be a different
Oh, there you are.
They're nowhere.
Oh, you were in transit. Good for you. Welcome. Welcome in person.
Driving and safety.
Beautiful. Jeff, we're just about
I've been
looking to wrap
listening.
up 5B. Did you have any additional comments on 5B? I think you biked that road.
Yeah,
don't
he
you?
responded.
I heard your
I
initial
responded,
comment.
yeah. I said, I agreed that it's a low-volume street.
It is.
And I think putting a sign in will just encourage people to blow through stop signs, because they're just going to drive through it anyway.
Okay. All right, well, thank you. I didn't want to miss you along the way.
No, you didn't miss me, I spoke.
And he had the concern with the slope as well.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm going to go to the public. Is there any public comment on item 5B as in boy? Okay. Seeing none, back to the board for further comment. Seeing none. So this, the item before us is the stop sign request, Samp Mortar Drive at Brookside Drive. I would make the motion that we deny this. That is the motion I will make, if somebody would like to second that.
I'll second it.
Okay, so we have the motion that's been made and seconded to deny this stop sign. Is there any additional comment on the motion? So a yes vote will be to approve the motion, which is to deny the sign. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstentions? Okay, that motion carries. 5B is not approved. We'll go to 5C, which is the speed limit sign recommendation at Bronson Road at the Sturgis split to Mill Hill Terrace. Megan?
Yes, so this is just a simple recommendation to put a speed limit sign over
Yep.
there. That's the only thing that we have seen in that roadway. Do you have any comments for that?
They put new guardrails up over there, but there is no speed limit sign there. So I think, and it's after an intersection, so cars are proceeding north on Bronson. I think an addition of a speed limit sign would probably be helpful.
I can share a picture quickly.
Do you recommend any particular location?
No, I think anywhere along by that new guardrail off to the right-hand side, I think anywhere after the intersection, so people know, as they progress up Bronson, it's 25.
25.
In the past, they would.
There's no houses on the right side, so it's not going to be in front of anybody else's house.
That's at the end, yeah.
So
You're talking about the other end.
Yeah, it's farther back.
Yeah, right.
When are we
No,
gonna fix that
terrace.
intersection?
That one there, when the nature center comes up, we'll be looking at, possibility of an all-way stop or
A lot of accidents
realignment of
there.
the intersection. Yeah.
Not really, believe it or not.
Surprisingly.
Surprisingly.
Because you really got to turn your head.
It's hard to
what's
see
coming
back.
I think it
Yeah,
forces
yeah.
people to actually stop, and I think that's the
I think you're
difference.
right.
Is it really makes you to stop, and
It's a tricky one.
it is
Yeah,
because you're going straight, you're going that way,
yeah, it's a hard turn when you got to stop and.
busy,
turn
a
all the
lot
way
of
back
volume.
here.
It's a very popular cycling route, and I'm surprised no one's been killed there.
Yeah,
But
it's a dicey
really,
intersection.
it's a really, really.
That's one
dangerous
spot
intersection.
with the opening of the nature classroom. As I said, it would be either a realignment or a four-way stop is probably
Yeah.
what we'd be looking
Yeah,
at.
because that
The elevation's tricky there too.
It is, yeah.
it's
Yeah, I mean,
really dangerous because you gotta when you're coming, because I always turn right and go left now, but if you're coming straight that way on the bike, you gotta
Turn, look back.
You can't see.
And that happens a lot, even in the car, you pull up and you stop and you look all the way this way, and by the time you turn around,
Someone's coming.
They're
sometimes
on
you
you
come
the other
right at you.
way.
Yeah, yeah, they come right down pretty
Well,
quickly.
engineering and the police, a lot of times, they call those like Y intersections or like 45 degree.
Nasty
Make
Y.
it very smooth for traveling public, but that's when your speeds are high. That's where you have, like you said, the turning of the
Yeah.
neck and all that.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we try to make them T intersections rather than
Yeah,
Y.
and it's dark at night there too.
That's a major response route for us.
Yeah. The hard part making that one a T though too is like you said, the
And
elevation.
Elevation, you almost
Tractor trailer
gotta get rid of that
traffic.
little
Yeah, the
cut.
roads are, yeah.
But when we go to look at that, Kevin, you made a good point too. If there's not a street light there, we certainly, at an
That might be
intersection.
something to
there's
think about.
something-
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do with that.
We're adding
intersection.
light to it, yeah.
We do.
That is one of the safety factors.
Any comments from the public? I don't think we have anyone on, we do. Any comments from the public on item 5C?
Actually, on that, so was the request just on the one, or was it both directions, or?
I can check
I believe it specifically said
Yes, I
where the
don't
new
have.
guardrail was installed.
Oh, okay, so it would be, I guess that'd be what we call it northbound, right,
Yeah,
yeah.
northbound.
So then the motion would be probably to install the speed limit 25 sign, which I checked. Ironically, just like Congress Street, there's sections that are 30, and this one luckily is 25, so.
So let's check what's in front of us to make sure we're
Yep.
voting on what we want
Right,
to vote
exactly,
on.
that's why
Okay,
it would be northbound direction.
in the northbound. So do you want to go ahead and make an amendment to that effect?
Well, let's see what, because we might be already in there. I don't know
Where?
what
Yeah,
they're.
this is a request with, I can read it
Sure,
out.
why don't you read it,
Yes,
please?
with introduction of new guardrail, it seems traffic has sped up along my strip of Bronson Road with issues backing out of my driveway. I have young children and would appreciate more oversight or signage reinforcing it's a 25 miles per hour zone and not 40 to 45 miles per hour as is seemingly customary now. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. Okay, so if somebody from engineering
Sure.
would like to make a motion to amend 5C to vote on what we want done.
Right, the motion would be to install speed limit 25 sign on the northbound Bronson Road.
Okay.
And then I would say at least, we would want to, because sometimes they put it right after the intersection, you got to put it a little bit past. So I'd say anywhere after like 50, 100 feet, 100 feet, say, to put a speed limit 25 sign. Anyone after 100 feet past Mill Hill Terrace.
Do you want to read that back? Or-
Sure, yeah, to make it clear. So install a speed limit 25 sign on the northbound Bronson Road approach, 100-foot minimum from Mill Hill Terrace intersection.
Is there a second for that?
I'll second that.
Second, Jeremy? Okay, so that's before us for discussion. Is there any further discussion on item 5C as amended by Mr. Hurley with the stop sign northbound on Bronson? Discussion from the public on item 5C as amended to add the stop sign. Seeing none, back to the board for further comments. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That
You
motion.
accidentally said stop sign, you meant speed limit sign, just to cover. Yeah.
I did. Speed
That's
limit
all.
sign.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Good catch. Appreciate that. Okay, now we will move on to 5D, which are the crosswalk signs at Fairfield Beach Road leading to Penfield Beach. And I'll go over to either Mega or Bill for a quick update on those signs.
Okay, good. I did go on site, so I have a couple of comments. However, before I start, did anybody go to the site? Jeremy, go.
I've been by.
You did.
I've been there, but not.
Go by every Tuesday.
I was looking at it before.
Everybody goes by there.
That's important. Did you, okay, you will like to share your observations because I have a couple of observations myself, which I would like to discuss. But let's go with Jeremy. What's your observation?
Well, I think just one of the crosswalks have the yellow signs there, right? The other two don't. The ones that are east of Penfield.
Yes.
That's
Two
correct.
crosswalks.
Church, right? Was that the one?
There's two
Yeah.
crosswalks, but they don't have the pedestrian crossing signs
Right.
near them. There's a lot of crosswalks over there.
There is.
And Megan noticed there were no ramps either, just to.
Yes, I was going to say
You
that too.
already busted one.
I give you credit.
Yes. Anybody else would like to share their observations?
No, I think that's about it. Let's talk it out and see what folks think and what folks
So
think we
first,
should do.
the first observation, I found two crosswalks. One at the intersection, one leading to the Penfield. They're 97 feet apart, both crosswalks. The resident has requested a signage for pedestrian crossing. I did not see any signage for pedestrian crossing to cross here, so that's one thing that will definitely will go in. I also saw that the speed limit signs were not METCD compliant over there, the yellow sign and the 25 sign that they have placed underneath, so that we should be replacing it with the new signs. That was second observation. Third observation, I also observed that the ramp, specifically leading to the intersection, that one of the ramp is not ADA compliant. In fact, I can put that none of the ramps are ADA compliant. They don't have those dimples in it. They don't have a proper ADA compliance. It seems like somebody just removed the curb and made a ramp there. There is like a thick lip in the ramp. It's not flushed with the roadway. So I would suggest making those changes before we think about, we can put a sign, but I would definitely like to have ADA compliant ramps with the crosswalks as per MTCD.
Okay, so I think I heard three things. I think I heard the first one, which is to add the pedestrian crossing signs in both places, right? Or
Yes,
just, so two?
both sides, both sides.
Both
North
sides.
and south
Okay.
bound.
Does everyone agree or disagree with that piece of what we just discussed? Okay.
I agree.
Agree, okay. The second part of it is to update the speed sign.
Existing
To
sign.
become METC compliant for the sign itself.
Yes.
Is that kind of an easy one or no?
It is. My only question is, I think the state sent us a letter about updating speed limit signs and Fairfield Beach Road was on it.
Yes.
So
So
they're gonna be doing that.
let's just double check and see if it's the one they're doing. If it is, they're gonna do it soon. If not, we'll do it.
Okay, so we can say we're gonna do it, but we might not have to.
We
is
might
what
not
you're
have
saying.
to.
We
DOT might do it. Yeah.
All right.
Why would
They
do
had,
that?
they had us, we got a letter, they were doing a state, and it's weird because we only have, that's the only road they listed in town.
Get extra signs?
But some of the other towns had a bunch. It was like a project to upgrade speed limit signage on local roads.
Really? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. Okay.
The whole town, it's just one
Goes to the
Yeah.
beach? The beach there, like that?
Maybe. I mean, that could be, they might, maybe it is around parks, I don't know.
Okay. So that sounds like a potential no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of part B of it. And part C of it is what Mega just talked about, which would be, I'm going to guess, partnering with would it be a public works type project to make those ADA
Yep.
ramps compliant with how they should be? Yes, Jeff?
I know I get plenty of constituent feedback. Our beach constituent left. About speeding here. I mean, this is a spot that's known for speeding, correct?
We get speeding complaints there.
Yeah.
History shows there's not a speeding problem there. But
You don't write a lot of tickets there.
when we go out there, there's very limited fractions. Not saying people don't speed, but the overall volume, we're not getting speeds that people say that people are doing. But obviously, it depends on the time of year. We get a lot of stop sign violations in that area, that's for sure.
It might be that there's a lot of pedestrians and cyclists there, and then they feel threatened just by the speed of
Could
traffic.
be because there's a lot of volume
Yeah.
so
So-
it's definitely the perception that
Perception.
cars may be going faster than they are. But I'm sure there are cars going fast at times.
It's a place where a lot of
Yeah.
people walk and
A
ride
lot
their
of
bikes.
cyclists, a lot of bikes.
Is there a possibility, and I know,
I know what you think.
Go ahead.
I think he's going to say is,
Go ahead.
are you thinking of a raised crosswalk?
see, I don't even have to say it. See, we agree.
Yeah, raised crosswalk in the area, certainly if the volumes are warranted there. And that's why, as we said, that's something we would have to, for further discussion, because, as I said, the fire department
But
is gonna.
wait a second. I know there's a want, but there are federal standards for raised crosswalks. So we would always comply with federal standards, which may not be what you like, but are proven to be safe. So we would always comply with federal standards.
The raised crosswalk is a more of a elongated as opposed
Yeah,
to
it's not
speed.
as-
So
Yeah.
he's just making sure that it'd be.
Different-
ED
there's different heights,
compliant.
there's different heights you
It's
can
like it's like
do.
a speed table instead of a.
Yeah, but this would be
At the entrance.
a good spot for, for,
You're not going to have just one or two people crossing. It's going to be a relatively busy crosswalk.
The
very
whole
busy.
intersection you're paying.
Well, I think it merits further study, but whether it's on the speeding enforcement side, how many cars are speeding, how fast it's going, and is something like this an applicable solution for the problems that we find down there? So certainly both of these discussions merit further consideration. There's no question. Yes, ma'am.
Can I also ask, I know that we had a resident express a concern maybe about 3 meetings ago,
Yes.
and I just wondered, is that on the list for future study where maybe a more significant installation is appropriate at that time so we can look at the entirety of the stretch from Beach
So
Road to?
yes, we have collected the data. We did collected the data
Okay.
last month, so the data is all in. It is under review for us. So hopefully
that-
we will be presenting next week.
The area I think I'm remembering that you're referring to from a previous meeting ties into this area, into the larger area that you guys are looking at data from? Okay, so
Mega, and you might have been, I would think I was here, we met with a couple of representatives of the FDRA. They had a list of certain, I'll call them traffic calming ideas.
Okay.
And so Mega's been, I know, going back and forth and has started some of the studies for that. And again, as we were talking about before, certainly a possible demonstration project if there was any hesitant we could try a demonstration project with a temporary speed hump or something, or a speed raised crosswalk. We have another one proposed coming up for Mill Plain Road that this board approved. So we'll hopefully be doing that sometime in the spring. We didn't want to do it during the winter.
So you're gonna take it up for the plows.
Right, yeah.
Right, exactly.
So this could be certainly, so I guess it would be quote under study is
Sure,
it's
no,
currently
I think
under
it's a
study.
great idea. It's a great idea for us to start looking at some alternatives and some other, solutions to problems once we define how serious the problems are and what the proper solutions could be. I think that's great. So I'm looking at my notes here, and I think what I'm hearing, hopefully somebody will make a motion that has like three parts to it. One of them is to add the two in both directions pedestrian crossing signs that are not there. And the second part is to replace the speed sign there that's not compliant. And the third part of it would be to work with Public Works to update the ramps
Upgrade the ramps.
to ADA compliance. Does that kind of make sense?
Yep.
As a three-part motion? So,
Just one clarification question. So
Sure.
for the crosswalks, are we using as a standard the yellow vertical strip?
The post delineator.
Oh,
Those delineators, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw in the
I
picture,
don't-
we didn't have them there.
I don't know if it's our standard, but we can add them if we have them, yeah.
Should we,
I don't think we've standardized that yet.
should we make that part of the recommendation?
is that the pleasure of the board to have that particular sign? I mean, I'm fine with it, I just
Yeah, I
don't.
mean, it highlights the.
Yeah, I know,
post
I
delineators.
notice them now, and they make
Yeah.
a big difference.
Okay, so it's called a post delineator.
Delineators.
Yeah, I think, I don't,
You said they're cheap too,
I think they're usually pretty
because
expensive.
we discussed it before.
It does, for whatever reason, it highlights.
As far as the sign cost
does?
goes,
That's
that's probably
good.
the cheapest
Cheapest
part.
part, right?
Between
Piece
the
of vinyl.
post and the
Nothing to
sign,
make-
For stop signs, they're great too.
yeah.
Would you
Okay,
mind?
so I'll make a motion to, for
5D.
5D. 1, add pedestrian crossing signs with post delineators in both directions. 2, update existing speed sign for MUTCD compliance. 3, public, schedule with Public Works, upgrade for ADA compliant ramps.
Thank you. I'll second that. So that's what's in front of us. That's the motion for item 5D that's before us for consideration. If there's any further comment, concerns, questions on that?
Sorry,
Seeing
who
none-
seconded? You?
I did, yeah. I'll go to the public on the item as amended. Seeing none, I'll go back to the board for final comment before we go to a vote. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions, that carries 7-0. Thanks, Brooke. All right, so that takes care of item 5, which were those four further discussion or voting items. So we'll go now to item 6. And Mega or Bill, I'll turn it over to you guys to kind of walk us through this next section of items. Again, we broke up the agenda in a couple different buckets so that we could further discuss and vote on things that we have a better handle on that came to us before or that are no-brainers in that first bucket. This next bucket is things that are out there that look like they're pretty important that should either be voted on soon or discussed at great length or visited. And that's what this bucket of items is. So we want to get out in front of things and we want to get people out in front of the items so that when you're out this weekend, you can take a peek or whatever. So Mega, I'll turn the floor over to you for 6A. The stop sign request at Pansy Road and Valley View Road.
Yes, so the stop sign request is at the Pansy Road. actually.
Oh,
It's a
Pansy.
Pansy Road.
Yep.
Which is a major roadway. It's not a minor street. It's a,
Well, I just wanted to ask a question about this. I know that in the complaint from the resident, they were concerned about bypass traffic for Black Rock Turnpike. I know the Black Rock Turnpike safety study is older at this point. It's, was completed in 2017. But when that study was completed, what they found in the study through the drone footage and the traffic analysis was that Black Rock Turnpike doesn't serve as a bypass road. It's very much a destination. So folks who end up on Black Rock Turnpike, a majority of them are going there to shop and do those other things. So I just don't know if, I guess my question is, has analysis been done? And I always say this, usually when there's a traffic consideration, it's because people in your neighborhood are driving through your neighborhood.
Yes.
So I just didn't know whether that's really what's happening here, is these are folks who live in this neighborhood and they're choosing to take this road, right? So.
Yeah, and it's again, I think, another potential example of the Google Maps and the Waze things. People are getting directed onto roads that maybe they didn't know about or weren't taking in years past that are now shorter cuts. In years past, people would have stayed on the main road longer because that's where they knew to go and turn to get to where they were going, and now they're wiggling through streets that they weren't wiggling through a decade ago. So there's always going to be an element of that, and maybe there's a little bit of that here. I don't know for sure.
I don't know either.
But
That's what I was.
that's a big picture issue that we're seeing, almost every month. But
They want that stop sign as a means. They think it's going to be a speed reduction, and that's not what stop signs are for. Because we don't have accidents at an intersection. I think we've had 3 accidents on Pansy Road in 3 years, and one was at Stilson, and the other 2 were parked cars. So there's no sightline issue. There's no issue about who has the right of way. I believe the request is probably to, in theory, slow people down, which obviously we know stop signs aren't designed for. We do radar there, so we are doing enforcement there. But I have a feeling that's why the stop sign request came in, is thinking that it's going to be a speed reduction.
Yes.
I agree. Yeah, I think you might be right about that. Okay.
Yes.
It is a bypass, a little bit of.
Some of the Fairfield prep, some of the prep kids go there.
It's a bypass, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's because you can do a right on red, especially in the one direction. You can do a right on red
You can.
with Black Rock Turnpike.
Yep.
And although it says no turn on red, when you hit Stilson, some people do a right on red there.
That road's not that busy though, right?
What's that?
Pansy.
Certain times of the day, because I think you'll get some prep traffic in certain,
So
certain times of the day.
I put it at moderate.
Here's why I'm saying it's not, because I feel safe riding my bike on that road, which is a pretty good indicator, so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wider, it's a straight road, it's pretty
People don't drive like
wide
they used to.
relatively,
Yeah.
and you only got that one side street.
Mega was working with, Mega was working with the intern on that, and she had a lot of backup information, right? What
We
did you
just
have anything to
collected the
add?
Black Cat analysis we did. Obviously, the speed limit is 25, the average is 30.
Yeah.
85th is 33, around that range.
That's not too bad.
33, 35. So again, to Jeremy's point, it's not a speed control feature. Stop sign.
Yeah.
And then my question is this close enough to Osborne Hill School where it's going to be part of speed
20.
reduction efforts?
Yeah, that would be incorporated during that 1 hour before and after. The reduced speed will be 20.
It's within a block, right?
Within a
Yeah.
block, that's right.
What's
I
the
forgot
radius?
about that, thank you.
What's the radius for the school zone?
Probably, I don't know the specific thing, but it would probably go past Valley View Place or the intersection.
If I recall, there was no set limit. It was, based on the frontage, and then they let you go maybe to the next block,
To the
sort
next
of
street over.
In rare circumstances, they may let you go 2 blocks, but it wasn't like a half a mile radius of school.
That'll help though, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, that'll
But
help.
it did cover, as I said, that section, and we can get you that information. I know Hector.
Okay.
So may I ask if this is something where we need to get back to the person who
Yes.
corresponded to us,
Yes.
and we indicate that we've requested a speed limit reduction in conjunction with Osborne Hill School,
Is that one of the original
and
sets?
a stop sign at this
One of the
point
ones
is not
Hector
warranted,
has.
but
And the next one's.
hopefully the speed reduction will
Process.
assist in some of her concerns.
Yes, I agree.
And just leave it as that.
It's also, I think, going to be one of the next batch of
I
speed
think
cameras
that's
too.
reasonable.
Yes.
You could say that there's a pending police application to OSTA, right?
Okay.
So the intention is not to vote on these items. I mean, we can adjust what we're going to do and the thoughts that we have and the next steps that we want to take, while also recommending that we take the next month or two to drive by there a couple times and get a closer, maybe additional opinion on what it looks like and feels like, because I've learned things as I sit here and talk about it. And then when I drive it, I look at it differently, and I might think about it even more differently the next time we talk about it.
Yes.
So I think that's a good outcome here for us.
So then we wouldn't have to necessarily put this on the next FTA because it doesn't meet the warrants for it.
Probably not. I mean, we would need to sit.
Respond to the resident
We
and
can
then.
definitely do that. We definitely
I
want to
know you're
respond to
trying
the
to,
resident.
trim some of them down,
Absolutely,
only the
yeah.
ones that we have to vote on.
Yeah, but some of these will warrant coming back for a vote in additional consideration, and some will just warrant a communication back out. And that's some of the back office stuff that I think we
Right.
still have a little,
to help with.
yeah,
Yes.
a little help. Okay, so that's helpful on that one. And Megan will guide us along the way if something pops up along the way on any of these that does warrant additional discussion, or it escalates in some direction. I mean, we aren't precluded from bringing it back under its current form or under another form.
This next one, is there a chance we could change this to a voting item? I think it's a pretty simple one.
Yeah.
This way we could kind of maybe get it off the list, maybe, potentially.
I think we could, we'll just have to add it.
Discuss it first and then maybe make a motion.
We can do a 2/3 to add it as a voting item. That's fine. So why don't we look at 6B, which is the speed limit sign recommendation at River Street.
So you want to explain that one?
Calendars.
Sure.
Oh, I'm not paying attention. I'm sorry.
I was paying attention.
I can put it on the screen.
Usually when I'm driving, I can see that.
Yeah.
I don't recall seeing any speed limit signs on there.
No, I think that's why I think it's,
Yeah, it's a very big
I think if we
request.
throw it up there, it's pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I put one right in front, and then as you go right before
Okay.
River Lane.
one on each side.
Yeah.
So, yeah, why don't we talk about this mega quickly, and we can escalate this to a vote if it makes sense to the board, and we can, if that's the case, we can chip it off the list. Absolutely.
Yes.
Is this a 35 mile per hour or 25?
25.
25.
So the resident is requesting some kind of a preventive measure on this road. As you can see, the common request is for the cyclists, pedestrians. It's the whole point is to provide some kind of a preventive measure. It is also acting as a cut through. He had my car collided with a speeding vehicle while exiting from drive on Friday evening. I don't know if you heard that. The collisions happened on that street, the crash history.
There's not much crash history. I think this came in when they were doing the Southport project. So I think with the construction.
Contractors,
was bringing people
yeah.
through Harbor Road. I mean, people still go through that way, but I think a little bit more volume was occurring at that time because of this construction in Southport. And that's when I believe this cooler came in, is I think there was more volume at the time.
So is the concern up the hill to tee into Sasko?
No, I think it's the part going by like Tainter Drive, like where Post Road is, between the bridge and Post Road.
That used to be like a Y, and they kind of teed up that intersection, so you have to kind of go slow to get there. But then there's a narrow straightaway, and that's probably where the concern is. So to me, I didn't notice any speed limit signs on River Street, and so having one basically on each end of the road, so that it also makes it enforceable, and it will heightens the awareness. It's speed limit 25, and you go from there. The other thing is I just came from a road diet meeting with the Route 1 and the state, and we made a request to say, because this is one of the few road diets that the state has done in this area, and they are doing like a follow-up study. And so that should be very interesting to see, was it effective or not? And we have before counts on River Street, so we could certainly do an after one and then see, did people, are they really using this as a additional cut, I want to say detour, but a bypass? Or is it just, again, perception? But at least we'll have the data to back it up.
Definitely, they were definitely sneaking through because we had complaints on Westway went up too during the construction time. So it was literally snaking through to get back to Post Road.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what the data is now that it's complete.
Okay.
But it's probably Fairfielders. Like, it's not,
Well-
it's people who know.
I mean, it
It's
very well could
neighbors.
be.
It's your neighbors.
Very well, a lot of times. A lot of times it is, right? Right.
But I don't have any problem.
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Bill, that I'm just looking at River and the Post Road, that's just like, gosh, it seems way over engineered.
It's a really short segment
No,
from
no, I'm
River
I'm
to
saying the
Tide Mill.
intersection
That's
itself.
about like,
Yeah, the curve.
Yeah.
It's way over engineered. Is there any way we could, neck that down a little bit? Or even put like a raised, so we can make the fire truck turn, but basically a raised area so cars don't.
Pop it up?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Would you just want to do it in paint though, like they have done like,
Yeah.
I mean, they've done that in other parts, especially, what is it? Pease, they have that too, right, where it's painted? Am I thinking about the right street?
Yeah, I think, was that formalized though with an actual curve at some
I
point?
think they changed it. I think it's a formal curve.
It was
now.
though, you are
It
correct.
used to be paint. Now it's actually,
The one that, was it Jelliff coming,
Yeah.
yeah, that one, yeah.
It was paint.
It was, and then,
now they made it
Now
curve.
you made it actual.
yeah,
curve.
truck apron like, yeah.
Yeah, truck apron, yeah. Megan,
Yeah.
are you opening the map?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's one of those intersections that somebody like all of a sudden just, somebody's brother-in-law was the asphalt contractor, and like, yeah, let's put more asphalt here.
Well, actually, it used to be more. They actually cut it down somewhat.
But that probably facilitates people making that turn. You can't see it as much in this one, but
Let's,
Go to Street View. Yeah.
this radius right here is just really.
yeah, because it used to be like a Y, and then they
Yeah.
shortened it out a little bit.
I'm sorry.
See that extra grass area? That used to be pavement.
It did, I did not know
so-
that.
Maybe it's been fixed.
So it must have fixed it.
Yeah, that was the quote fixed.
Great minds.
Good. It turns back into a simple sign project now.
Good job.
No motion necessary.
That's the sign.
Okay.
Yes, I think there's no speed limit sign. It's a small stretch of road,
Yes.
but there's no existing signage.
Okay, it seems pretty.
I don't mind making a motion.
Why don't you make a motion to add it to,
Add it
add
on,
it to a voting item, and then we'll take it from there.
So I make a motion to add 6B, speed limit recommendation at River Street, and to put it on a voting item, since I think it has support.
I'll second that. And we need a 2/3 vote to do that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Okay, so now 6B is before us for either additional consideration or a vote. Anything from the public on this one? No? Okay, anything else from the board on this one? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions? Okay, so 6B has been moved and voted on. Excellent. So let's take a discussion on 6C, which is to cross.
Just a second, Kevin.
You bet.
Do you want me to say where the locations are?
Yes.
Makes the work order
Yes,
easier?
yes.
Okay. So on those, the speed limit signs would be, I'm going to call it southbound on River Street, just beyond, that's Tainter Drive? Yep. I have a picture of it. if anyone
Tainter
wants.
Drive, yeah.
Tainter Drive, yeah. So just beyond Tainter Drive, there's a pole and a VRAD box, so putting a sign right in front of it is a good idea, I
Perfect.
think, yep. And then going northbound around after the bend, before River Lane, which is a little private street, is where the other location would be.
Yeah, before, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, where were we? 6C, crosswalk request at Morehouse Highway and Bulkley Drive.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's two, but they both go to nowhere. They both go to front yards.
In the past, someone's talked about sidewalks and crosswalks.
I think I think it's a much bigger project needed over there.
Yeah, I'm glad you're
A
saying
much
that.
bigger connectivity project.
And what is that, Bill, isn't Morehouse on the sidewalk list?
There was a sidewalk request for it, but it hasn't gotten anywhere. Yeah, it's
Top of the hill.
a budget,
Like a
that's one of the
horseshoe
biggest holdups,
road,
the
bulkhead.
budget.
But is, in your sidewalk master plan, is?
I'd have to check on that. I'd have to check on that, yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's the issue. I mean, like you say, there's a bigger,
Well,
because Morehouse is,
the request, Mega, were you looking up the request for that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
For this
I
request.
think they wanted to cross the street there, not go
So-
along.
yeah, but.
For Morehouse and Buckley, I
Yeah.
will read the request.
Thank you.
So this is from the resident. The resident says, I would like to petition for a stop sign at the corner of Morehouse Highway and Bulkley Drive, the corner closer to Fairfield Woods. Can the form to petition please be sent to me? So, well,
They want a stop sign or a crosswalk?
stop sign, but we are proposing a crosswalk.
Well, isn't this in that whole study area right now anyway? Like, I thought that if they're talking about, am I
Is
misremembering
Morehouse in a
this?
study area?
Like, I thought we were talking about this in conjunction with
Could be confused.
Fairfield Woods,
Yes.
right? Weren't we talking about this
Well,
area?
yeah, well, Morehouse at Fairfield Woods, there was talk of doing the corridor, Fairfield Woods corridor.
Yeah.
So this would be, being it's like up the hill, it'd be probably beyond it.
Morehouse is
yeah.
like it's a separate issue.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
that's basically the way to Lake Mohegan and.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Ideally, it would be a sidewalk from Fairfield Woods to Lake Mohegan, but that's
Well, that's-
obviously a big project.
Yeah,
Let's vote on that one right now.
Yeah,
That's a good project.
Yep.
Yep.
And, but that's at least, it's on the horizon, not the immediate future, but it's on the horizon.
In all seriousness, how do we, so we agree that there's a problem on Morehouse. Like, there's consensus, seems to be consensus on that, or that it's an issue. How do we then we all agree that it needs some study. How do we then take that and turn it into a study or create, prioritize that as an area we're going to look at? Because, we can't, I wish we could vote and put a sidewalk in, but that's not possible, but we know it's an issue. How do we've identified it as an issue, how do we do something? Do we have a mechanism?
That's a good question, Jeff. I'm not sure. I can talk to the first select person's office and try to get, try to get some guidance on that, because that would be, I don't think it's outside our purview. I just don't know what the mechanism is for
Yeah, I
us
think
to
that-
facilitate it.
The short answer is, I think, no, it doesn't exist now, but that doesn't mean we can't
Absolutely.
change. It exists in the sense that we're talking about it here, and we know in our heads, like,
Yeah.
we need to look at this, but I don't think there's anything that formalizes it.
Well, this one kind of falls into the same bucket as,
Like, there's a bigger, much larger project
Big
here.
project.
It'd probably be similar to the Churchill Road one, where you'd have to go for a grant.
But I'm just saying, like, do we have like
I know what you're saying. How do we track it? Like, how do we know that we're gonna?
program
yeah.
management office concept
into
to
it
say,
further, yeah.
this is, on a let's think about it list, Like, if we could create a, go ahead.
Right, I mean, I think within the POCD, when we talk about connecting people to significant high-usage places,
Like a park.
Lake Mohegan is a significant high-usage
Right,
place.
sure.
So, figuring out where people's primary pathways to get there is, that's kind of a big deal. So I think there's support for us to lend our support behind any kind of application for a funding opportunity. Otherwise, we could certainly recommend that it gets put on a long-range capital improvement waterfall plan.
who do we,
Who's tracking it and who's?
well, that, exactly, and who do we go to kick it off, right?
Or even just create, I mean, if we had a list.
Create a list.
Create a list of things that come up in this meeting, because we're responding to Q alerts, which are, highlight the issues, as long as we have like some kind of list, and maybe some of the ideas are good, maybe some of them are bad, we're not deciding. But
Some are
these-
feasible and some are not, right?
Right.
Right. And this falls into the same kind of big picture bucket, and I'm forgetting the name of the street. It's the hill from the,
New England Avenue.
New England Avenue,
Yeah,
thank
same
you.
thing.
Exactly.
It falls into that same kind of big
Right.
picture, big problem, what do we do about a bucket? And whose, door do we kick in to get this stuff looked at so that we can either be part of it, be supportive of it, or, be the voting agency on it?
We're just highlighting.
I wish there were a couple of mini destinations in between, if you know what I mean. You kind of have the
It's a
schools at the
long
one
stretch,
end, and then the lake
A lot of people
there.
walk on that road.
Because if you had a couple, because then you could certainly phase it in, or you could start from one end to the other.
Nobody has anything
And
over
then
there.
if you did build the sidewalk, are people going to walk up the hill? Or some of the, or if it's off the road and there's a nice grass strip, then it might be one of those where, not many people were walking, quote, Round Hill Road until we finally got that one put in.
That's
And
correct.
then,
That's a good point.
But there's like very obvious goat paths there, right?
On Morehouse, that's the thing. I
Really?
don't
I don't know. I'd have
People
to
are
look.
just walking in the road?
People walk there.
There's no walking in the.
People
there's
walk in the
a-
road, though. I drive that road a
fairly
lot. I live
wide-
over there.
yeah, there's a fairly
A lot of
wide
streets that funnel
shoulder.
into Morehouse, so there's a lot of neighborhoods that go out to Morehouse.
Yeah.
So it's,
For sure. So why don't we do this? And that's a good point, Jeff. Let me speak to Christine Vitale and see if maybe she can provide me with some general direction on these types of things. I don't know the answer. And I know we had a good conversation about the New England Avenue area, and a bunch of us went out there and looked at it, but I don't know what the next thing is on it.
Can I also ask too, because I don't have a copy of the new MUTCD
Oh, okay.
manual, so I don't know if there are creative opportunities that are available within there in terms of paint versus pavement, like, I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, limited.
Yeah,
Are
but,
you referring like if we put fog lines or edge lines in, at least
Yeah.
at the buffer area, or at least people
Right.
are walking to the
it's
edge?
visually distinctive.
Yeah, and again, I think Morehouse is one of those where the Fairfield Woods end is fairly narrow, and I don't think you have enough room.
To do a fog
But
line.
maybe up as you get to the top of the hill, it widens out a little bit,
Yeah.
and you might have more. And then when you go back down the hill, some parts are wide and some parts are narrow.
But at least it creates this perception of a safe place for people to be. And then, if we do need to put it on, so it's like it's an interim measure that could lead to folks more highly using it, feeling more comfortable and safe, and then putting it on a longer range capital improvement budget.
And sometimes it matters on the right of way. I'll give you an example of if there's a lot of lawn and a car comes, and even if it's a road narrow, you can kind of get off to the side.
Yeah.
But like on Sasko Hill, there's pricker bushes, there's
Yeah.
walls, there's whatever.
walls right in,
Then
yeah.
There's no room for you to even to go on, and so there's differences that way too.
Yeah.
That can be looked at. But, that's one that, as I said, at one point, we kind of had a little bit of a sidewalk priority list, if it's near a school, a destination, a park.
Well, there's kind of the POCD level.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Q alert.
No, this is in between,
Yeah,
yep.
and we're trying to, and the two converge, right?
Yeah.
So, and like the other one I don't want to lose sight of is Kings Drive. That one, I mean, because we heard, that was we had a ATV on that road. That's the one where people cut through?
Yeah,
All the
well,
time.
we have a plan for it, we're gonna do the demonstration.
I'm really just talking about a category of road that kind of comes up, we all know it's a problem, but somehow get it into like a, put it on a list someplace that we can continue focusing on and
And we can keep cycle through it.
You're talking more of traffic calming or sidewalks? I'm just trying to,
it's the same.
It could be both,
It's the same.
Okay, I just wanna know.
Because they're all like, areas we know that are problematic. And then maybe, I think the solution is getting a grant, right? To then say, hey, let's address this category of, problematic streets that are dangerous for pedestrians. I think that's the common thread. So.
Just a quick question. If there was a way to get a sidewalk from Woods all the way up Morehouse down to Mohegan Lake, which side of the street would be the most appropriate side for it to be on? Would it be the east
The
side
one
toward
with the least number of
Bridgeport or the
trees.
west side toward
You're
the?
not doing it on the east side. Not when you get over the hill coming down to Lake Mohegan.
Because,
It's all
You really have to take a closer look at it. It depends
yeah, I'm
on,
just curious. I didn't know if there was a.
you'd have to do a survey, see where the right-of-way line is, how many trees. So
Yeah.
you kind of have to evaluate both and.
There isn't the no-brainer answer at the moment.
Not really.
Eventually,
Either cut into the hill, or you gotta worry about the slope on the other side.
eventually,
Yeah.
I believe this speed camera money can be used for stuff like
Yes.
this. So as that revenue develops,
That's a lot of tickets.
You'd be
gonna
surprised.
Watch. But I believe that revenue can be used for traffic
Oh,
improvements.
It's supposed to be used for traffic.
So,
safety.
so.
To be traffic.
So
It's gotta be
for
traffic
roadway
safety
improvements,
related, yeah.
so if it's a calming measure with the sidewalks and narrowing, I think there may be budget down the road available that's not necessarily grant money.
On a tangent, I was in Portugal last week, and the roads are way narrower. They have lots of fire trucks. It's much denser, and they have sidewalks everywhere. So it's just a matter of like, what can you pay for, right?
That's what it comes down to.
They're different fire trucks, trust me.
Oh no, they're smaller. They're smaller. Yeah, they're smaller fire trucks, but there's the city burned. The entire city burned. It's like London. The place burned. They're very concerned about fire safety there. But my point is you can engineer in anything, right,
Yeah.
Mr.
Oh,
Engineer?
You guys have extra concrete.
Yeah, it comes down to the funding.
Yeah.
Lots of money, yeah.
Well, maybe that's one of our big picture agendas moving into next year is putting our foot forward. They put us together to not just vote on items that are before us, but to help solve issues around town in conjunction with other departments. And maybe this is where we start sticking our chest out saying, these are the 4, 5, 6, 7 things that we believe should be prioritized and, seeing what comes out of it. Okay, so that's a good discussion. So I'm hearing, is it no action? I mean, is it just keep an eye on this? Is it visit it?
Think so.
I didn't hear that we need to be really specifically looking to do anything else.
Crosswalks would go nowhere anyway, so I don't think really.
Yeah, there's no sidewalk.
Right.
So
Yeah,
the
they-
crosswalk to somebody's front yard isn't gonna do anybody much good, so
All right,
until.
so what's the quick response back to the concern to the citizen, just that?
Requires additional research and study, is what I would say at this point.
Something
Safety
along those
reasons.
lines?
Yeah,
Just overall neighborhood research or something, yeah.
Yeah, we need to keep observing, keep an eye on the site. At this point, there's nothing glaring that is asking us to
Just so
take
we,
actions.
Just so that we're in sync on that. All right, and the last one, because we did E, is the preventive measure at Tungus Hill Road intersecting at Old Stratfield Road. What do you have on that one, Megan?
That's a very, very tough intersection. And my observation is it needs a lot of studies to improve that intersection. It's a sightline issue. It splits into 2 intersections, there's a stop sign. So there are a lot of factors that require long-term study. It's not a short-term solution. So it's a long-term under-study area.
Do you think it could be part of the SS4A?
Yes,
Yeah,
I believe
okay.
so, yes. That is kind of an example. It's a complicated intersection.
Any interim steps or thoughts or?
Is that related to somebody almost got hit there?
Yeah, I heard that, and I believe
Minor.
it's
They did, somebody did get hit.
Which one are we talking about?
Tungus Hill
Tungus
Road.
Hill. I think they were just crossing. Some people park on the road and cross the street.
It's an old
Is
stretch.
this the right, I want to make sure I got the right
It's
one.
Tungus Hill Road, but it's, if you see the
Yeah, it's
picture,
further up.
Where the island is?
It's up here.
Yeah, there's that
It's
little
between
triangle.
Ireland and.
Oh, that's gnarly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
With there's like a barber shop right there.
And that's where the restaurant is.
Oh, yeah,
The
that's
roadway geometry.
So it kind of comes
Oh, yeah.
around and it's like a
Yeah.
crosswalk further, closer towards Tungus.
It's endless
Nobody
curb-
uses it. They all cross the road right in front of the restaurant, barber
Cross
shop.
right there.
Endless curb cuts too, right? There's too many, like,
It's a long curb cut,
we have
so
regulations on curb cuts? We don't, do we?
But it's hard this is a pre-existing,
Yeah, these ones are-
non-conforming kind of
Yeah, yeah.
mom and pop type historic restaurant use, right? So it's one big, long, people park face,
just pull
front
in and-
forward, and then
yeah.
they pull out onto the
Well, they only
roadway.
have like 4 spots in the front there, right?
Yeah.
4 or 5 maybe?
Yeah, it's not a ton.
You end up parking over by that church
Mm-hmm.
in, on the side streets. Yeah, it's dicey.
I did know, just food for thought or whatever, there was a sign up the hill a little bit that says slow curve.
Yeah,
You really should have the curve with
After the curve.
maybe the 20 mile per hour, auxiliary sign, something like
Slow
that.
curve
Yeah.
versus the fast curve?
Right.
Okay.
And then the other thing I thought of here, and it's worked on Park Avenue and a couple of others, if the road is wide enough, if you did a white shoulder line.
Do you want to go up there and show us? I'm sorry. I'm not following where you're saying.
So let me open the Google image then. Let me open the Google, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
street view.
But isn't this another area that kind of needs to be?
Yeah,
looked at a
because
little more
it's
broadly?
highly walkable, it's mixed use.
Yeah.
There's parcels that are gonna be subject to redevelopment
Yeah.
in this whole area, so
Needs
For
needs
sure.
trees.
just really.
Sidewalks there, right?
Needs trees.
The whole Lennox
Yeah.
Ave, it's all getting sidewalks, right? Is that part of the whole project, Lennox Ave and all that, Pope Street?
There's
Part of the Dodgers
potential,
project right now?
Fairfield has potential to be linked in with the McKinley School.
You're doing that all now, right? The McKinley School project?
And Milan, when I don't, this is before your time, Bill. You probably know. Remember when they did Grassmere Corner? I think
Grassmere Avenue,
Grassmere Avenue. They must have gotten a block grant or something for that.
where the Hunan Pavilion
Yeah,
used
yeah.
to be, that area, okay. And
On 130 right there. Right by
yeah,
the
there's a
bridge.
grant there, and it's,
Was there a
should
grant?
go out to bid.
Oh, there's another grant, but because I remember when they put that in, and it made such an improvement. Like they put brick sidewalks in, and I mean this area really. Would,
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
we need
that,
to-
we
need
did
to
a road safety
Give it
audit
a little
there.
love.
give it some because this area's got
Yeah.
it's got decent bones. Like there's like you say, it's walkable, but I think these.
Yeah, we got like a $2 million or $1.75 million
Yeah,
grant.
it
so
made a big
should
difference.
start,
Yeah.
I'm hoping in the spring, late spring.
You're talking, yeah, but you're talking the improvement on 130 now, right?
And Grassmere Avenue.
Yeah, yeah,
Grassmere
but
Avenue,
there was
okay.
an improvement, remember when they fixed it, what, 15, 20 years ago?
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, it
yeah.
made such a difference. And I think like this area kind of needs, rather than us like nipping at the corners on this, Emmeline's gonna go out and get us a $2 million grant.
Should this be a
area.
mini roundabout?
Well,
Well, there's
I mean, but
a hill there.
probably, but I mean, this area kind of needs like you say, it needs some love, right?
Yeah,
It does need something.
Well, one of the things, though, to prevent either people walking, whether they walk across there or backing out of that area, if you did the white shoulder line, say 3 or 4 feet, it gets them closer to the yellow line rather than hugging the curb as they go around the curve. And that might just give them that little extra sight distance, or, whether they see somebody or the somebody driving sees them.
Right.
And so if there's room there, so we'd have to do a measurement
So
there.
Bill is, I mean, what you're suggesting is pretty much like, I dare say, tactical urbanism, right?
A little bit,
I mean,
yeah.
Can we, as a group, like, start encouraging that? These small measures with paint, planters, temporary things, because that would make a big difference right around here, wouldn't it? Doing what you're saying, Bill, but maybe a little bit more, a couple more planters, but is there a neighborhood association here?
Is this does this extend to Stratfield?
No.
No.
Not Stratfield, no, not even close.
Not even like the resident, because
No,
I
it's not even
heard for
close.
Stratfield residents, they start putting their signs all the way on like Easton Turnpike.
Easton?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Eastern Turnpike.
Eastern Turnpike,
Yeah.
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 It's one of the ideas that
It's
I
not
think is
Stratfield,
what
it's
you're
not
thinking
Stratfield.
of.
Stratfield pretty much ends at the high school.
For the association?
The neighborhood, yeah.
Okay.
From the catch basin to that opening, you could possibly do, is this at the painted line, or you could do possibly a bulb out?
Yeah.
And then that gives them more.
Here?
Have we used planters? What do you guys think about putting planters in?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. It depends on where you put them though.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't you tee this whole thing up?
Oh, that's another, I mean, there's a lot of, I was just doing a quick, yeah.
Do
A
what?
lot of possibilities.
Because like right now, you've got.
Oh, Peg McTee, yeah.
You
Oh, yeah.
this whole weird thing where you've got
This is really
cars
weird,
coming
yeah.
this way, people trying to take a left
Yeah.
here,
Mhm.
it just seems like you just need to
You just made it a T and, yeah.
That
If
might
you make it a
work.
T, you could actually then have some grass areas on the edges,
Yeah.
you know?
And then if you tee it up, people have to stop who are coming
Yeah.
down the hill.
Yeah, because people fly, you fly through there, and there's like way too much asphalt right here.
So that's why we
Kind
have.
of like where the, you know, where the
So this
stop sign
is-
is now to the,
Yeah,
like,
right.
to go left, if you kind of
Right.
tee it up and close off that other.
Yeah, because right, just
That
like we
actually
were talking
could
about
work.
before, if you look at it, it looks like a Y, and now you want to make it a
That's
T.
what it was originally, right?
Well, it's probably an afterthought going left.
Right.
That used to be, I think, the old state
you're saying it wasn't
highway,
at all.
believe it
When
or
it
not.
was there, this
Fairfield.
road went down and then they
Yeah.
added.
They
Came in.
chopped something in, yeah, that makes sense.
That very well could be what
Yeah,
happened.
If you look at the height
Yeah,
difference,
yeah.
Yeah.
Brought it in
that
like
was someone's farm.
You almost get rid of that.
So this one's on the homework list for us all to go out there and spend some time and walk it, drive it, view it, and
Southport.
circulate some
Yes, you don't
thoughts.
come up this way.
That's what this one
No, I
really
know.
is. This is in the right bucket, I believe, as far as
Historic sign out there for.
getting the
Oh, yeah.
conversation warmed up and taking a peek and, you know.
So that's a good thing about living.
Temporary, the only thing is.
Okay.
But what if you just close this off entirely right there? So you have no
You
right.
put a sign up for
Close this up.
Gustav Whitehead,
Close
first in
that.
flight. Right there, that hill, that's where it
Was
happened.
that the hill?
That was it, yeah. Right there.
We still got.
What happened?
Okay, all right, so let's move on to number, so guys, that was kind of like a homework, let's talk about it again, let's see what we can think about on that one. So let's go quickly to item number 7, Mega, okay?
Yes.
Just a
Yes.
couple quick updates we have.
Yeah, very, very quick, just to let know that Sunny Ridge Road, it's under investigation. We have installed a black cat last week.
Yep.
So it will be removed next week. So once the data is collected,
It'll come back on one of our
We'll come
lists for
back again.
consideration and possibly action, but it's in the works, is the bottom
it's
line.
in the works. That's all I want.
Yes, Prue?
I'm sorry, what was installed last
Black cat speed device.
Speed detection.
Black cat. Yeah.
Black cat, speed.
Did you say speed cameras?
No. Speed detection.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was black cat.
Some people think it's that.
Say,
I'm in the bucket, you can put them everywhere, but I know I'm in the minority, so.
Sunny Ridge is again one of those cut throughs from, what is it, Jennings,
Yeah.
to get you to Stevens Lane.
Sure it is, yep.
And
Built-in traffic.
same thing with Rogers.
Okay, so that's cooking, all right? It's,
that's cooking, and same thing is with 7B. It's cooking. We have installed black cat data last week under investigation. I see a resident from Rogers Road, so that's the only update I have. It's under investigation.
okay.
Bye.
Let's go to the resident. Welcome.
Hi there. Sorry for the background noise. Children are going a little bit cuckoo. So I just want to say thank you for taking into consideration the road. I just moved here this past year, but I am from the area. So I've been down Rogers Road frequently. I've lived in the area for 17 years now. And it is a cut through, and we've had several accidents on this road. There was one on a Sunday morning that led me to put in this request. That a car hit a parked car, and it was it flipped over, and my husband pulled out the person. So it was a lot. And we have a lot of kids on this road. So I appreciate you all taking into consideration the preventative measures.
So Linda, do you have, did you see her name and address?
Is it Linda Troy, 63?
It is.
Or TORV as in Victor.
Oh, sorry, thank
Okay.
you.
That's okay. Everyone gets it.
Thank you, Linda, for being here, and thank you for your comments, and we're taking a good look at what we're doing here.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, thank you. All right, so that's 7B, that's in the hopper, and C, Megan?
Just to give a quick update to our board members, we received a lot of requests in November. So overall from June to up till November, we received at least 95 requests.
Yeah.
81 are closed, 14 are open, which are some part of these requests, so they will be going to zero soon.
Right.
Next, so end of the year closing out, we have actually sorted out a lot of requests,
Okay.
did a lot of work. Like to also thank to our police department. They have been so helpful. Without their help, I don't think it was possible for us to actually move through.
They've eliminated about at least half the
Half of
keywords,
our
so, yeah,
requests.
I appreciate that.
The Q alerts are fast and
Very.
frequent, so
I know they are.
it takes a lot of people to kind of go through them.
I know they do. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of efforts on.
A lot of duplicates, so it's sorting through them, and we'll get there.
And I want to thank Mega too, for, as I said, she's done a great job cutting down, they said there were like 88 at some point around September, and we're down to somewhere around 12 or something like that, so,
Right.
thank you.
No, thank you, Mega, Bill, thank you to the police department, thank you to everyone on
Yes,
this
board
commission.
too.
I know it's new and we're getting there, but we've done a lot, and we have a lot to do and a lot of bigger picture things to consider as well. Which reminds me, I was on the phone today with Phil Piers, our town attorney, just talking to him about board meeting process. And he reminded me that we need to give a report to the RTM in January.
Yes, I saw that in an audit.
I had totally forgot. So that's not a big deal, but what I would ask of you guys is we need some information and some data points, if you could start thinking about it, because we will be meeting before we have to meet with the RTM, I believe. They're the fourth Monday, and I'm not sure whether they're gonna want us at the regular meeting or maybe at the committee meetings the week before. I will get those answers, but we're gonna wanna get there and represent ourselves and kind of let them know what we've done our first 7 or 8 months in action. The highs, the lows, what we've done, what we've learned, what we're doing, the problems we solved, some of the data points, some of the numbers, some of the concerns. We should also, that's a great forum for us to talk about this big bucket stuff. Hey, you know what, we've identified, and there's
Something, yeah.
we've identified these things, and we're gonna put them on your radar, RTM, that, you commissioned us to do this work, and we're managing through it. But in order to get past some of the, blocking and tackling stuff that we vote on every month to get to the bigger picture stuff, that requires a lot, including a lot of money, that we are going to need a partnership with you. So if you guys could put some thought into what we want to deliver to them and send me some notes, hopefully positive, but we've had a few bumps in the road too, so it's important to talk about both sides of the coin and let them know that the commission they put together is, doing the good work that they want us to do. So please give that some thought and send me your individual notes. Stay away from group notes because of the FOI stuff. But, send me some notes to remind me to, cobble together some words. Yes, ma'am.
This is an opportune moment to ask for administrative assistance.
Oh, believe me, it'll be in there. I've been nudging Christine, and I know you have as well. That's why I called
So
you a
has
couple
Bill.
days back.
Yeah.
We have a request in to hire someone part-time to help manage all this stuff and help direct some of the behind-the-scenes traffic. It's just a little bit too much to ask people who are very busy with their day jobs or volunteers that don't have access to the information during the day to direct and redirect and give some of the easy, quick answers to the concerns.
Yeah.
Or to the, to the ideas that are coming in. So we want to be thorough, and we want to be, clear with everyone that's coming into us on what we can and can't do. So I have been stomping my feet to get a part-time person, because it's not fair these folks already have piles on their desk this tall, to give them another pile. And it's not fair to everyone, to not have somebody whose focus is on that, There was an intern doing, I kind of shot that down, because interns come, interns go, some are good, some are bad. And then you have one for 1 month and then they're gone for 3 months. That's kind of a useless cycle, I think. So the advocacy, from my opinion, is for us to have a part-time person, 15, 20 hours a week, that can work with all of you folks during the daytime and with us to help us just navigate it. They're the ones that created us, so they should fund us. It's really $25,000, $30,000 a year. If you hired somebody for 15, 20 hours a week at $25 without benefits, it's 30 grand on the high side. against $350 million, you know, so we need to advocate for it. And that's my 2 cents, so. Anything else under item 8, old business or new business, number 9? Yes, sir.
Old business, I submitted, we had Congress Street
Yep.
talk last time.
Yep.
I submitted that to OSTA.
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
so it could be official, because it was voted on in 2003.
So then we can start enforcing 25.
It'll be officially changed on their end, so.
Fantastic.
That was 2003.
We'll even buy you a couple signs.
It wouldn't be the first time. We've told them probably since 2003 that Cemetery Road is a
I know.
private bridge, and they
It's lost
still
in the
put it
mix.
on their list.
Good question.
Yes, perfect.
No, I just wanted to make sure I had it right. You requested it for this with the state?
Yeah, OSTA,
Yep.
OSTA was officially requested to change the Congress Street speed
To 25 miles an hour.
on their end.
Thank you.
Why is OSTA involved in Congress?
They said the speed in all roads.
All roads?
Yep, even local ones. And thanks for approval. When we say OSTA, you know,
I know.
Office of State
I'm still
Traffic.
learning- I'm still learning the lingo.
Administration, you know, so.
Aren't you glad you raised your hand to be part of this? Or did your hand get raised for
I
you?
think my hand got raised. Calmaris raised. Now it's like a group effort.
Yeah.
Like Captain Arizari, me, and then Sergeant Com.
We certainly appreciate it.
How do you get voting? I know, I should probably talk about this later, right? About getting how do you get somebody else to get voting privileges? Because I don't think Chief Paris will be here often, but Sergeant Com.
You are his proxy.
I'm his proxy, and Hector, I know Captain Arizari's his proxy.
Yep.
I'm his proxy.
Right.
But could we get Sergeant Com to be a proxy? Because it's kind of like all three of us are going to be.
Oh.
I don't know how do you add a proxy?
I'd have
I
to
guess
read
is
the
the
ordinance.
question.
We'd have to
I
check.
think the chief can.
Designate.
Designation.
I think the way it's written is, we'll have to double check.
Is
but I
it
think
limited to
says-
two?
I think it says chief parent.
2 designations
Or-
there.
Maybe we can get the ordinance, well, you know what?
We can take a
Let
look.
me
Figure it
find
out.
I don't know, but I know the chief can designate, is it up to 2?
Yeah.
And I think that designation can change meeting to meeting, so unless there's 3 of you physically here, I think
You
you
could
can.
designate,
I think
you could designate so-and-so is
The
voting
voting.
that meeting.
for any
Yeah.
particular meeting.
Like
That's
if
my
you're both here,
understanding.
one of you's voting.
One's
You
voting,
get
one's
2
not.
votes.
There's only one person voting.
I can
That's my
designate it
understanding.
here.
So I
Just
think,
because our schedule's
I think that's how.
you're going today, you're not going today. I'll probably be here most of the time, but. Just so I know going forward.
okay, is there anything else from anyone, old business, new business?
I just wanted to ask, knowing that we're going to also be starting the SS4A process in the spring, right? March?
Well, actually, we're hoping to have a kickoff
January?
meeting in January and get them going, yeah.
Did you want to tell the rest of the group about, these guys know about SS4A?
Well, it's, we applied for and were given a grant from, it's Federal Highways, right?
Federal.
For Federal Highways to do a Safe Streets for All study of Fairfield. And I think some of the things that we discuss should be part of that because it is, trying to make the roadway safe for all users. And so, some of the concerns that we get from folks who are just trying to walk with their kids to school.
Sure. Yeah.
So I think, this,
Like Morehouse.
right. So I think this body has gained a lot of knowledge just through the Q
I mean,
alerts
those
and
ones
the
where we know
concerns from residents. So I just want to make sure that in our own individual capacities, if we're able to participate, I think the knowledge that this group has kind of gained together is really helpful.
It is.
There'll be a lot of public outreach associated with
Right.
that as well.
Yeah. Can you add a blurb of that into your email to your group? I mean,
Yeah.
I think for January, hey, they were pretty bold when they created us. I think we need to be pretty bold when we report out
Yeah.
to them. I
Agreed.
mean, let's let them know who we are and what the hell we're doing. Oops, sorry. What the heck we're doing. Let's let them know what's cooking, all right? Anything else from anyone?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn? Second? All those in favor? Aye,
Thank all
opposed,
of you-
abstentions?
All of you for
night.
staying late, putting this extra